Three, two, one. Third Wheel Podcast. Welcome back. I think this should be our last Harry Potter video. We're going to talk about Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Oh, yeah.
This is part two, sort of last week's discussion, but there's a lot to talk about, I'm told. So now, is Cursed Child unofficial, or is it official? I'm sorry, hold on. I'm Caleb, and that's my co-host right there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice dramatic pause. That's Shaps. Anyway, all right.
Glad to see you sweat.
Yeah. Oh man,
What is he talking?
I wasn't ready for this. Okay. Was this who wrote Cursed Child?
Not J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, but she had a hand in
But
the.
she does consider it canon.
She does.
She does.
Oh God, man! If everyone who wrote their fan fiction, the author just came in, I
Should
like
look
it.
that up first.
Yeah.
I
I like this. It's canon. Thus saith the author.
But you know, it's just like how George Lucas has a heavy hand in last his like other projects that were in his.
Allegedly.
Who wrote Cursed Child?
Like, okay, I don't buy that. I don't think he actually.
No, I'm
had
talking
a
about like
hand.
Clone Wars and stuff,
Mhm.
where like Dave Filoni made it, but he was in the room. George Lucas was like always around.
He
Like,
just hit accept on the terms of service.
nah, dude, he actually had a heavy hand in that stuff.
All right. if
Jack
you say so.
Thorne,
Jack Thorne. All right.
Jack Thorne, and John Tiffany.
Can you look up how J.K. Rowling had a hand in it? Because I think she had a hand on when they released the screenplay for it for the play.
Did J.K. Rowling? I'm just gonna ask. Right,
Okay,
Cursed Child.
that works. Because they did release a book. It wasn't.
Kind of.
It
Yes
wasn't
and
a
no.
novel.
It was like almost like a better than a transcript.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is credited for the story idea. The play was written by Jack Thorne and John Tiffany.
Okay, so she had an idea.
Or John Tiffany directed. Jack Thorne actually wrote it. Okay.
So she had an idea, but instead of writing it herself, she was like, "Take."
She doesn't know how to make a play, so she's. I get that. So she's
Okay.
like, okay, let's outsource it to someone who writes the play.
Yeah, I get that.
And
too.
then someone to direct it.
Yeah.
So she just had the idea. So you know what? We can still blame her for all the mistakes, I think.
Because it was a bad idea.
She had to be the one to. Okay, and I think she actually likes the play. So
Uh-huh.
she had to have been the one to be like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sure she was there.
Yeah.
And they were like, does this make sense? Does that make
Oh,
sense?
then by golly, if it doesn't make sense, she approved it. All right. It takes place right where we left off in Deathly Hallows.
Yes, 19 years later. Harry just had that very nice emotional scene with his son. You can be whatever you want to be, son, and I will love and respect and honor you no matter what.
Yeah, it just brings a tear to your eye.
Thanks,
Is that
Dad.
Draco over there? He's balding. He's evil.
Ew, stay away from that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So he's with an unnamed woman in the actual novels, right? But then in this one, they actually flesh out who he married later
Yes.
on. Yeah.
I don't remember, but
I don't either.
we didn't actually read it. We just kind of read synopsis.
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
Yep.
I hope it's fresher in your mind because I'm falling behind.
The only one I don't remember, who's that female character that they
cut for time
No,
purposes.
the one who is someone important, wink winks, daughter.
Hermione's daughter.
No, Bellatrix's daughter.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, she's like the villain. So I'm
Okay,
like,
okay.
it's kind of important, but
all right. I'll look this up right now.
Mhm.
Sorry, it's gonna be a shoddy episode, guys. So, for those of you who don't know, this is it already tries to fill in for me fan fiction because this is fan fiction. Like, make no mistake here.
that's what everyone calls it that, and
Yeah.
it very much is.
It very much is, yes. That J.K. Rowling. I had a conversation with a coworker, and she told me that she's reading fan fiction for Harry Potter. And there's one where Harry is a black. He's been adopted by the blacks,
Okay.
Sirius blacks.
I got a little. That sounded.
All right. I could have worded that better.
Oh my gosh, that was like a Linus Tech Tip, freaking malfunction there. Okay,
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
that was pretty close.
All right, well then cut it out if it's that bad.
No, that's funny. You're gonna get famous now.
I don't think so.
What's up,
He
Black?
is.
He was adopted by blacks.
He was adopted by the blacks.
That's very.
I
Mature.
gotta stop
That's
while I'm
very.
ahead. By what's his freaking Sirius Black?
Yes.
By the last name Black.
Okay.
You know, maybe I wonder if she wrote it that way just to troll
Oh,
people.
120%.
The ring was stolen by the blacks.
The game was rigged by the stars.
Excuse me. Delphine Lestrange.
Gotcha.
Delphine.
Yes.
All right. We all tracking now.
Yep.
All right. 19 years later, fan fiction comes in after Harry has that emotional moment and he says, "Hey, Severus." No, it's Albus Severus Potter. Albus, he tells him, "You can be whatever you want," like you said. And then he says, well, Albus has the same worry. I don't want to be in Slytherin. Right. And Harry is like, "Hey, I didn't want to be in Slytherin either. The Sorting Hat reads your heart, and it'll help. It'll kind of take your preferences into consideration," is what he tells him. Well, they get to Hogwarts and
the light switch flip.
Yeah. As soon as he puts the hat on, the Sorting Hat forgets all the other books, just like I did, and he says Slytherin.
Which I didn't know. I don't know if it says where they got a new Sorting Hat because they burned it in book 7.
There's
6,
no way.
I mean.
It's probably like
7.
the Phoenix, where it bursts into flames, and then it just
I guess
comes
so.
back.
I mean, Voldemort thought it was important to burn it, but
Yeah.
who knows? What does he know?
Yeah, because now it's all Slytherin. Like there's no more sorting.
Yes.
Slytherin only.
Right.
Hoorah. My heart goes out to you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
But in this book, yes, everyone thinks back to normal and there's sorting, and it goes Slytherin, and he's like, "No,
Yeah.
my father will hate me for this."
And
And
Harry does, right?
yeah, he does.
Yeah. So he just said it's okay if you're in Slytherin. Don't
Straight
worry.
up like disowns him.
Yeah, and then-
I don't think that's the only reason, but like from what I read, it's just like, yeah, Harry's just like repeatedly disowns this poor child, this cursed child,
Yeah. Nice. Wait a minute. I see what y'all did there.
so many times. And I'm telling you, like, again, I'm trying to piece together like from the few things I read about it. They bring in a new character. It's Malfoy's son.
Yeah.
Draco Malfoy's son.
Scorpius.
Scorpius, yes, cool name.
It is a really cool
And
name.
he quickly befriends Albus Potter, and they become very good friends. It's very, very close, brotherly, platonic friends for a little bit.
Unless you go to England. All right. So I want to throw this in there. The original runtime of this play was really long.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is not me giving my opinion on the subject. This is me just saying this is what
objective,
happened.
yes.
This is what happened. Okay. There was the full play, which was like 4 hours or something.
Yeah.
And there was Harry. There was I'm not Harry. There was Albus Severus. There was Scorpius, the two characters. And then there was a romance that Albus had later with another character.
Right.
Well, they realized the play was too long for overseas play.
Yeah.
Right. So they cut the girl character, and to save time, they had to keep the romance in altogether.
They have to.
They made Albus and Scorpius gay for each other. Like, don't laugh.
Heavy. You're right. I need to.
Yeah.
For time, the fact that your relationship was built off of time restraints.
Yeah. We are out of time.
And from what I read, it was heavily implied. I don't know what that means, but to me, it's like, yeah, because
Well, how is it implied? But then he gets with the girl character.
I don't
You know
know.
what I mean? Yeah.
So yeah, and a lot of people didn't like that just because it's like such a cop out and just like an easy like token thing to do. And also, it kind of highlights an issue I think a lot of writers have nowadays where they cannot, for whatever reason, people or a lot of writers just don't know how to write same-sex friends anymore. Like, it's like, I don't know why, but it's like, it's very difficult.
There has to be a tension between them.
There has to be. Even like that one Pixar movie, Luca or whatever. Not that they said anything, but it was just like two boys, right? And they were best friends, but like everyone kept on saying they were gay for some reason. I'm like, and it's just the heavy implications. I'm like, I don't know what's implying anymore. You know, it's like,
it's kind of weird. It sounds like the fan fiction got tampered with more fan fiction.
yeah,
You know?
that's what sounds so fan fictiony about it. It's just like, well, of course they would, right?
Yeah. As you do.
Yeah, as one does.
As one does.
I think
this
it was-
one does.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Hermione and Ron, they took 7 books to actually get a romance going, or an actual like a real one. You know,
well, wait, we're running out of time, chaps.
Yeah.
We only got 2.5 hours to get this.
You think they're
play.
going to make 7 more plays?
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
No, absolutely not. Cursed child, cursed children, son of the child, son of the cursed child,
Son of the mask.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't know how long in the book or the play it takes for that to bloom, but they're very good friends from the very beginning. And I don't know when he communicates with Harry, but Harry's just like very just like, you know how we always made fun of Harry being egotistical and just like a grouch all the time.
Yeah.
But then in the book they're like, oh, it's because he's Voldemort possessed. That's why he's so angry all the time.
Yeah.
Well, this time Harry's angry because he feels a familiar pain that he did when he was a child, similar to something slithery, actually. Oh my gosh!
Is the scar start hurting again?
The scar starts hurting again. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I thought we.
So I'm sitting here like, oh, are they? Like, is Voldemort coming back again?
Yeah.
You know, but not quite.
No, the reason why it's triggering is because now this part I kind of was a little fuzzy on. They want to bring back Cedric Diggory.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would fix.
Right.
I forgot what that fixed. But they were like, we got to bring him back. Maybe they were just like, we got to bring him back.
I would never go back in time and just bring back somebody, a character.
Especially if they were like only there for like.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Cedric, but he wasn't really like super prominent. But
No.
They were. That's the big death of Harry Potter that everyone remembers, right? Okay, fair enough, right?
Sure.
But for whatever reason, these 2 characters, again, this part of the play I did not read, but they are like super hell bent on like we got to bring him back. You know, he's a hero, or whatever. We got to bring him back. So time turners, they are. I think that's what they're called.
Yep.
Okay.
Time travel's back.
They are my least favorite thing in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And they very much did away with them after book 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, was early on.
Well, okay, that's weird. I want to talk about that for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
So they did time travel
In book 3,
and then I'm with you. It's weird that nobody else did it. Nobody else used.
So apparently, I asked a friend, and somewhere in the books they say they got nerfed, where now it only travels back within 5 minutes instead of like days.
Right.
And I think that was like 2 parts. That was 1 to shut out the possibility of time travel, and B to just like not completely ignore it happen. Because like Albus was not like, be very careful with this. He's just like, no, kids, use this.
Yeah.
Use this to your advantage. And it's like when writers bring in time travel, you have to commit to it 100%. You can't just like play around with the idea and then like leave it alone.
Yeah.
So that completely breaks almost any universe unless you're fully prepared. You're not Doctor Who, right?
Yeah.
You're not Back to the Future. This is Harry Potter, right? It's like so many things could be fixed. And it's like, well, if you're going to go back and save Cedric, why don't you go further back? Why don't you save everyone who died? You know, It's like,
why don't you save Harry's parents?
Yeah, no, it's a plot device. So but they have to do time travel. And the big reason for this is because, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be so fun to see some of the scenes in the movies, but in the play now?
Yeah.
That'd be super cool to see. It's all it's for. But they go back, they save Cedric. They say, I don't even know what they do. They just like throw a ward on him or something. And they're like, duck or something, you know? Yeah. But apparently, and then they high five each other. They kiss each other. Like, you know, like we did it. We saved Cedric. And then they go back in time to the present, right? But apparently Cedric was, if he would have lived canonically, would have joined Voldemort.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he becomes a Death Eater.
Oh.
And so you know how like the big thing about Cedric, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, like he was a true, like he was the hero that Harry wanted to become, you know, like he was, I think a good, because he was older, I think it was in the 7th year. So he was like the stable point of like what Harry is going to become, the hero, you know. Well, apparently his moral code was hanging on by a mighty thin thread.
Yeah.
Because like I don't think they explain what happens, but he just becomes a Death Eater.
This is getting good.
Yeah.
I like this.
And so guess what? Voldemort's back, baby.
Yeah. He needed that extra piece. Well, what I was reading was with Cedric coming back, that's cool though. I didn't know he became a Death Eater. I missed that part. God. But it messed up everything because he was going out with Fleur, sort of in book 4, if I remember. It also messed up Ron and Hermione getting together because they never had their drama from Cedric's death.
Yes.
Cho, I think that was also an issue. So yeah.
Somehow that is just the straw that broke the camel's back on Harry Potter.
Well, it's like you don't let's pretend the logic of the book. You don't hand kids time travel devices
Right.
because the first thing they're going to do is screw up the timeline.
Right.
You know, they go back, they imagine a domino breaking, and it's getting its way to break the whole thing down the design.
butterfly.
And then you just stick you stick another domino sideways and
From
you
a different box.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll fit.
Yeah. Oh God, what did I do? You know?
Yeah. So that messes everything up.
That's hilarious. I love it. I love this. This is the best Harry Potter not book I've ever read.
And they're like, oh no.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah. Gosh darn.
So I'm sorry. Voldemort lived now because
Voldemort lives.
Cedric
He is the man who lived.
Yeah. He was such a good Death Eater, Cedric, that it just changed everything.
Yeah, so I think what they do is they pull again. They're just following the plot of Back to the Future too. So they just like, oh, we gotta go back in time again and fix what we did. So they have to stop themselves from stopping themselves from stopping themselves to stop everything, right?
Yeah.
And then like I said, at one point, again, I don't know the timeline because I haven't seen the play. But at some point, Harry teams up with Draco for the first time ever, which I want to talk about that eventually.
Yeah.
He teams up with Draco and he's like, Draco, something's going on. I got a bad headache.
Yeah.
And like my kids, God, I hate my son. I bet you hate your son too.
Yeah.
Let's go and hate them together. He's like, bet. And Draco's like, Potter. He says Potter a lot. He's like, my father, my Potter. And then he's like, our sons are going to be gay unless we do something. He's like, you got it. So they go back. They find them. And then they all team up to fight Bellatrix's daughter because it was her plan from the very beginning. I'm pretty sure she's the one who gave them the idea to save Cedric. I'm guessing that.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way to tie those two plot lines together.
Sure.
But
wait. So they go back to save Cedric, which messes up the timeline. But the timeline that they accidentally changed is still intact. So Harry and
again, that's the part I'm fuzzy on. I don't know how they get involved, but somehow they do get involved.
I think I read that too, where it was like, so they created the alternate timeline, but that timeline that they accidentally broke is still intact.
Yes.
So Draco and Harry still are able to go back and mess with that timeline too.
How convenient. Yep.
It was something weird like that.
Yes.
So that timeline is messed up, but it wasn't erased. It was just kind of severed.
Right.
No pun intended. Severed from, I guess, now the canon timeline.
Yes.
So we really need the TVA to come in here and just prune everybody.
Dude, prune everything.
That's what happens when they put Loki in charge of the timeline.
That's why wizards don't exist, because they got pruned.
Yeah.
So, that I don't even know how the finale works, but basically, I think it's open up to interpretation if Voldemort can still come back. I think that they want to milk that. They defeat Bellatrix's daughter, and I think that's kind of just where the story ends. It's like it's kind of like one of those fan servicey stories where it's just like, oh my gosh, what if
we got everybody back?
We got
They
and also they did something weird with Ron, from what I remember. I think Ron just becomes like, either he becomes like a full idiot or nothing but like he becomes one dimensional. Either he's like all hothead or he's all idiot. I don't think he's like a mix anymore. So yeah. Oh, and Hermione, she's the Minister of Magic. She's the minister.
That's great.
Yeah.
See, she was too good for that universe.
I think she's too good for everything. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think she just do her own thing.
She's too good for the books. She's too good. Like, for some reason, J.K. Rowling just really outdid herself writing Hermione. She could have taken it down just one notch and spread that notch to the other characters.
I will say, I don't consider her Mary Sue.
I don't either.
Does the work every single book. So like you hear how hard she works, hard she studies. And in fact, when Harry Potter's being a little Mary Sue, when he finds Snape's book, Hermione's still like pissed off because like she's doing all this work. So 100% she earned it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah, you would think like, oh, Hermione, she just never does anything wrong. That's not true, actually. She still has emotions. Like I don't think there was a point in any of the, let's just take Star Wars for instance. I don't remember a part where Rey broke down and cried and had a moment where it was like she had to rise up to something above herself.
She had to rise with the Skywalker
family. I walked into that one. But yeah, Hermione had so many breaking points. Like her weakness was being, having emotions, being a girl who liked boys, being human. That was her weakness.
Yeah.
Magic, she was great on that. She knew all the spells, but she couldn't quite figure out how to navigate boys.
Right.
There was a weird part in Order of the Phoenix where she understood girls. You know, whenever Chode was just like, "Oh my God, you're not listening."
Oh yeah,
and
and then
ran
she's
away.
like, don't you understand?
Silly Harry. This is what you should. She understood girls, but guys, especially Ron, she just couldn't wrap her head around. You know. So yeah, pretty interesting point you made. Not to marry Sue because she still had low points and she still had to work through something. So.
Yeah, but the one thing I wanted to bring up because I watched some deleted scenes. There's actually 2 deleted scenes from the movie that actually the movie. Sorry, Deathly Hallows.
Deathly Hallows.
Part 1 and Part 2.
Okay.
That actually give a lot of closure to some character arcs.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I'm surprised were kept out.
Like weren't in the book?
Weren't in the book.
Okay.
And weren't in the movie. And probably weren't in the movie because of the book.
Yeah.
One was Dudley actually has a scene with Harry Potter. And he's like, he apologizes for pretty much like everything.
Oh yeah, cut that out.
They cut that out, which that ties up, you know, the Dursleys pretty well. And then at the very end, Draco throws Harry his wand. And he says, "Heads up, Potter," and then he runs off. And just that little redemption arc, I think, was like really nice because like we see Draco the entire series kind of like fighting, you know, like this. He's conflicted the entire time. Dumbledore sees something in him, you know, he sees he's not a killer, you know.
Yeah.
So I liked seeing that little bit of just like humanity in him instead of just running away, which I thought was like it doesn't lead up to anything. Because like I think if they did keep that in, this story with him and Draco becoming friends would make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
And then like their children becoming friends would make a lot more sense. I don't know, it would tie things more together.
No, I feel that.
But it was cut for whatever reason. So they did have the idea.
Yeah.
But as far as Cursed Child goes, again, this is not a full synopsis or read or anything. It's just like what we remember from seeing it. And the thing that everyone talks about.
Yeah.
These are the particular things that everyone talks about. Like Cedric coming back and, you know, the romance and the Time Turner. So I don't think I know one person who's like, this is... Other than the production, I hear the production quality is really top notch. Yeah, like
it's popular with Broadway fans.
The way they work with wands too, like, just looks amazing. Yeah, it's incredible.
Okay,
but the writing, dude,
it's got me wanting to see it now.
Yeah,
kind of.
So. I think it would be worth. It would definitely be worth it.
We have to take a weekend and then come right back.
Go to New York. Yeah,
just come right back.
We could put it on the account.
I'd be up for that.
The podcast account.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Sneak in this camera and just record the whole thing, and then come out with a feature film.
Yeah,
I took some liberties. Just add scenes.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah. So okay, you texted me. We still got some time. You texted me and talked about Peter Pettigrew scene in the movie. I still didn't get a chance to watch.
Oh
his death. So please, in your own words.
So I binged all the movies and
well, hold on. Before that, I want to describe that scene again, but I'm not gonna make the same joke.
Okay, no, of course.
I'm not even gonna joke. Okay.
Yeah, this is serious.
Yeah. In the book, I was very disappointed that Peter Pettigrew was kind of what's the word? I wouldn't say just tossed aside. Like she just couldn't figure out a way. I'm sure she thought this was a satisfying end to the character.
I mean, he was kind of very, not even abruptly written out of the story. It wasn't abrupt.
Yeah.
They gave it some time.
Yeah. Because he was in the story. Like after book 3, he was kind of the main villain.
Yeah.
He was in book 4. He's the reason Voldemort came back. He got a new arm. I genuinely do not think she knew how to finish the story in the movie or the book. Well, I mean, do you think she thought this was good? Like, she's like, oh, this is a good way to do it.
I mean, I guess she would. Well, actually, you know what? It's funny you say that. She apparently is well known for critiquing her own work.
Yeah.
So she actually...
Lord knows she's got enough of me doing it.
She apparently regrets putting Hermione and Harry together.
Hermione and Ron.
I'm sorry, Ron and Hermione together.
She does regret that.
Even though a lot of people actually like that,
I liked it.
She regrets it because she says... she was forced. It felt forced for her. Like she felt like she was forcing herself to do it. And instead, I forgot who she said she'd rather have done.
It's probably Crumb. I put it with Victor Crumb.
I don't remember.
There is a book series.
I think she didn't like Ginny and Harry either.
Oh no! She set that up 7 books ago. You know.
I don't think she liked it though.
Really? That's crazy.
I know. Personally, I think Luna and Harry had more chemistry than
Luna.
Yeah,
dude. Are you nuts?
Heck yeah, dude.
No. Get out of here.
No, 100%.
Get that out of here.
Dude, okay. You want to go? How about like whenever? Okay, how many scenes can you remember of Harry and Ginny?
A lot.
Like
Books-
just
book-
actually having chemistry.
I never thought I'd do this.
Having
Well,
chemistry.
having chemistry is different.
Okay.
Okay, because, well, I can't bring up Ron and Hermione because she thought that was a bad idea too.
Yeah.
But okay, but I wouldn't say she had chemistry or he had chemistry with Luna.
Luna was the first time Harry saw death and he saw a I can't never remember the name.
I actually don't think any characters though had a good romance.
No,
I will kind of say maybe, and I mean she even threw this plot line out. Hagrid and that other giant girl. I think they had more chemistry than anybody else in this whole series.
when Harry saw the death horse, I forgot what they're called. They're something. Luna was the only one who could see it as well. And for that moment, Harry couldn't connect with anyone else except for this strange girl he just met, right? That happens a lot in the books, especially if you watch the movies. They give a lot more scenes with like Luna and Harry specifically.
Yeah.
Way more than Cho. Like Cho only shows up like once or twice.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, I could see that working way more just because like Ginny dude like was so minimal. I don't remember her really, besides in book 2, I don't remember her really having that much of a presence other than she likes Harry. That's about it. Like
That's her arc.
that's her art.
Yeah.
Like Luna dude, she actually did stuff, you know?
Well, I don't know. Ginny had a book 2. She did stuff. She got possessed, and then Harry saved her. So I did the knight in shining armor. I thought it made sense when she lost interest. I think it was in book 5. She lost interest in book 5, and then made Harry jealous, which is pretty realistic. And so that's when he realized he kind of had feelings for her. So I don't know.
I think that's what it was. I think she said it was forcing basically him to be put into the Weasley family. I think that's what she said.
Okay.
But
well, you know what? She wrote it. If she regrets it, then I can understand her regretting that. Maybe as time has gone on, things have gotten. There's things she feels like she could have done better.
Yeah.
I'll give her that.
it's my ship.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that one, I would think I agree with less. I think she did fine enough putting Ron and Hermione together. Like, yeah, I agree. Probably not the best look, but I understand why she felt pressured into it, and that the fans probably wanted it. They just wanted everybody to stay together. That's the only. You want to make sure nobody grows apart. Have Ron and Hermione literally get married,
Right.
you know, and then Harry and Ginny, like you said, bringing him into the Weasley family. I don't know. It's good enough. Is it the best possible option? Probably not, but it was good enough. So I'll give that. You know, I'll sit there and kind of say that. Okay, Peter Pettigrew. How did now? Do you think she wrote that and was like, "That's a great ending for him"?
Setting aside what she regrets now, in the moment,
Or do you think she was like, "I don't know how to do this"? Dead.
I think she might have just been focused on way more things, like other things.
Yeah.
I think she thought the hand was really cool. Like in theory, that's a really cool thing.
Sure.
You know, it's like, oh, it chokes yourself. That's pretty cool. But again, she might have just been way too focused on the death, rather than like what it actually meant.
Because I like what you pointed out when we shot that episode. You were like, I don't think he had a line. He just like was there.
He did not.
And he choked himself out and died. Yeah. So how did he die in the movie?
Well, Caleb, he doesn't.
What?
He doesn't die.
He doesn't.
No. I mean,
does he live or does
unless
he indirectly die?
Dobby knows Avada Kedavra? No, doesn't die.
Is he in it?
Oh, he's in it.
So what the? No more alluding. Tell me what happens.
So Dobby says, Harry, meet me at the top of the stairs in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And like 2 seconds go by. And he goes to the top of the stairs, and Peter Pettigrew is like, I don't even think he says a line in this one either. Nothing. No dialogue. It's Harry freaking Potter. You're the reason his parents are dead. Nothing. He's just like, he's about to hit Harry, and then Dobby stuns him from behind. He goes, ooh, and he falls down. And he never comes back.
He's not even in part 2?
No. I was waiting for him, but he doesn't come back. I was like, oh, maybe she's going to fix it. Maybe she's going to bring him back in part 2 now.
Are you sure it was a stun?
Again, unless Dobby knows Avada Kedavra, he goes limp. It wasn't green, though. He goes limp.
God dang you.
And he falls down the stairs. Maybe broke his neck. I don't know. It's a little dark, but
it's implied.
And it's played for laughs. He has the hand and everything. That part of the book was kind of dark too. So like it's played completely for laughs.
It was stupid.
The music goes
it was very dark.
and he goes boom.
Aw.
That's all it is. And my jaw dropped. I could not believe. I was waiting the whole movie. How are they going to do this? I was waiting for the choke out, but nope.
That sucks.
Oh, it sucked so bad.
Yeah.
I felt something for Dobby's death. It reversed effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not Peter. He's out. He's out for the count.
All right. So you asked me, like, you told me it's arguably worse or better. I don't know.
Arguably worse.
Yeah.
I think you can make a point or like a case for either, but like the movie somehow was lazier.
Yeah.
The movie somehow was lazier. She had an opportunity, or I know she didn't write the movies specifically, right? But she had her hands in it. They could have corrected that because, like, they're so close to the books with everything else, right?
Yeah.
They rarely change that much significantly. That's a character death, so it's a pretty big deal.
Sure.
They could have fixed it. Like,
Yeah.
That's why I was telling you, was like, I'm actually excited for the HBO series because I'm like, now they actually have the freedom to change some things around and make it more interesting, or just make things different, like, and I think that's a cool opportunity because it's like, man, like you could have put him somewhere, like you could have had dialogue, you had to have something, but no, they actually cut it down more than it was in the book. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the book, it was very elaborate and very out of nowhere and didn't lead to anything. But in the movie, it was like Boba Fett death, like it was
even worse
nothing.
than that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nothing.
Yeah.
This character was built the heck up, dude. Like even in Goblet of Fire, book 4, he's kind of like, he's such an interesting character because like he's so scared of Voldemort, even though Voldemort can not really do a whole lot right now. He's so terrified of him that is willing to do anything for him.
Just to stay out of his way.
He is the sole reason Voldemort came back, and he's still treated like like a dirt, dirt, like a dirt worm.
Sure, Wormtail,
and that's how he goes out.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about her character deaths are very bad, but that's the most insulting.
That's got to be. I think I was mad. This is like that's.
I was mad reading it in the book, and I'm very upset about this movie development.
No,
because like you said, they could have done anything else, like or at least something with some finality.
And I looked it up too, and like I was like, "Does Wormtail die in the movies?" And everyone just said, "Well, in the books he dies." So it's like, wow, yeah. I don't know. They drank the same water that she did when writing that character's end.
Yeah,
so
they were like, nobody cares. Except us two.
I do.
All right. Well, on that note, we should probably call it. So I got to go and get house shopping. So we're gonna go take a look. What?
They also don't kill off Crouch Jr.
Oh,
but
that's good.
But he never comes back.
Oh.
Wouldn't it have been cool to see him?
Yeah.
Like, at the Battle of Hogwarts.
He was such a good character. Yeah, you loved him more than I did, but I liked him a lot.
Probably one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. And then just never shows up again.
Kills him off screen. And again, like just all these characters could have appeared at the final battle. It would have been really cool. Yep. But no, now we got all these faceless, nameless Death Eaters that we just
Pettigrew could have had his moment where he did his Uno reverse card and been like, I changed my mind. Barty Crouch, the crazy dude, could have dressed up as Moody again and tricked Harry again.
Which would have worked. I'm back.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, hey, I actually didn't die.
And then, like, it would have been a great scene where Harry's like, again? The eye pops out and he changes back to Barty. Oh, come on. That would have been awesome. No, let's not worry about that. That's too much. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, movies aren't about working and trying. Okay. Writing scripts is hard.
Yeah, dude.
All right. Let's call it. See y'all next time, guys. Thanks for joining us this week.
Have a
See
good
you
one.
later.
Bye.